Welcome to New Sky TV. Shocking. Celebrities' true colors exposed. A cousin's words reveal Guo Yuxin's life's truth. She was once so poor she had only 83 yuan left in her bank account. And the ending left everyone speechless. On screen, Guo Yuxin is the most dazzling presence. A close-up shot reveals her exquisite makeup, sharp eyes, and commanding aura from the moment she appears. But who would have thought that in reality, she has almost nothing to do with the word celebrity? A staff member privately revealed, backstage at an event, Guo Yuxin was wearing the most ordinary white t-shirt and jeans, without makeup, her hair in a ponytail, chatting with the lighting technician in a corner, smiling like a girl next door. There were no assistants fawning over her, and she didn't put on airs. Yet, it was precisely this unmade-up face and those strikingly bright eyes that made her unforgettable. What truly shocked netizens was a casual revelation from her cousin. She said that Guo Yuxin's lowest point was when she only had 83 yuan left in her bank account. This isn't a joke, it's reality. Back then, rent was piling up, and she didn't even know where her next meal would come from, yet she suddenly received an invitation to an event. To avoid being impolite, she rummaged through her wardrobe and found only the cheapest black dress, which she wore to the event. There was no stylist, no new gown, and she even had to carefully budget her taxi fare. Recalling those days, Guo Yuxin laughs nonchalantly, "I was really poor, but I dared not stop." She dared not stop because if she did, she would truly have nothing left later. She slowly started getting roles, from unnoticed minor characters to prominent figures in short dramas, and now she's landed a role in the long-running drama Yuan Qiu, playing a spoiled and willful young lady. On screen, she's flamboyant, sharp, and aloof. Off-screen, however, she sits in a corner with her script, meticulously analyzing the characters' motivations page by page, even repeatedly pondering the pauses in a single line of dialogue. Some people scoff at her, "Isn't it just good luck, hitting the jackpot?" But those in the know understand, luck only favors the prepared. Those nights spent penniless, costing only 83 yuan, those days of rejection, neglect, and being dismissed with a wait a little longer, that was her true reality. There was no turning back, only forward. No connections, only relentless struggle. Ironically, right after the official announcement of Jade Matte Autumn, doubts suddenly surfaced online. Can she play the role of a rich young lady well? She looks too ordinary. But at the same time, the latest data was also on display. Related leaked videos had garnered over 10 million views, and discussion continued to rise. Viewers questioned, yet couldn't help but click, watch, and follow the updates. Because everyone understood, what truly intrigued people wasn't her current fame, but how she got to where she is today. From 83 yuan to standing in the spotlight, from being ignored to being repeatedly discussed. Guo Yuxin's story, without filters or perfection, is undeniably real and ruthless. Her comeback isn't a feel-good story, it's a reality built step by step. And that's precisely why it's so convincing. This victory wasn't easy for her, but it was a victory she won with unwavering conviction. The precision with which this system delivers its message is its most terrifying and successful aspect. When we repeatedly pay for reddened eyes, disordered breathing, and hesitant pauses, Capital quickly concludes that audiences don't truly care about the story's completeness or the character's consistency, they only care about the moment of being emotionally struck. Thus, the plot is compressed, logic sacrificed, and characters are disassembled into replicable emotional modules. The restraint of suppressed emotions, the trembling on the verge of losing control, the tug-of-war of intimate moments, all become quantifiable, replicable, and mass-producible satisfaction points. Guo Yuxin happens to be the most polished product on this assembly line. Her performance is indeed effective, even bordering on coldly precise. She knows when to raise her eyes, when to pause, and when to let her emotions overflow by even a millimeter or a second. The problem is that these advanced details don't arise naturally from the character, they are safe solutions that have been repeatedly validated and data-driven. She's not taking risks, she's executing. This is precisely why her characters are always captivating, yet rarely leave a lasting impression. You might repeatedly fast-forward through a particular scene, but it's difficult to fully understand who that character is after the series ends. Even more paradoxically, the audience is fully aware of this, yet still willingly accepts it. Because we desperately need this pre-designed intimacy. In reality, we dare not cross boundaries, dare not lose control, dare not pay the price, so we safely project all our desires onto the screen. Guo Yuxin isn't acting us, she's bearing for us, bearing the emotional intensity we want but dare not have. So stop asking if she's overrated. But if you truly believe this is a perfect feel-good comeback ending, then you're seriously underestimating Guo Yuxin. Many people only see her standing on the red carpet for that 1 second, selectively ignoring the mountains of failures behind the scenes. 3 years ago, what she did most often on the set of short dramas wasn't rehearsing lines, but waiting for her scenes to be filmed. Waiting for a shot that shows her face, waiting for a complete line of dialogue, waiting for the director to remember in the chaos, we're missing someone here. It's not that she hadn't been advised to change careers, nor that she hadn't doubted herself, it's just that she knew better than anyone else, in this industry, disappearing is the easiest thing to do. So she dared not be picky. No matter how small the role, she played it like a lead, no matter how fragmented the emotions, she pieced them together piece by piece. Others thought short dramas weren't worthy of discussing acting, but she insisted on cramming the character's backstory, motivations, and underlying nature into a minute and a half. She didn't gamble on luck, she gambled on time. The character of sister-in-law became a sensation because she was so unlike a typical hit heroine. No pitiful vulnerability, no innocent sob stories, she stood there, her gaze steady, her aura strong, her love direct, her hate clear. At that moment, the audience suddenly realized, female characters don't have to be compressed into a certain uniform aesthetic, they can be believable, attractive, and convincing. 3 billion views were the market's reply to her. But this letter wasn't written in a day. Someone unearthed a video of her walking the red carpet in an old dress from her early years. The lighting was poor, and the styling was ordinary, but it was precisely on that occasion that she uttered a line that has been repeatedly quoted since, "As long as there are still people watching, I must act authentically." At the time, no one thought it was a golden quote, they just took it as a newcomer's platitudes. Looking back now, it's clear that it wasn't a pose, but the underlying logic she's built up over time. That's why netizens exclaimed, she wasn't a shining star that was created by hype, she became a shining star step by step through her own life. In an industry accustomed to quick success and blindly following templates, Guo Yuxin's existence is itself an anomaly. She didn't have a perfect start, nor did she take any so-called shortcuts. She simply used the most basic methods, day after day, to solidify her roles. By the time the winds of change truly blew, she had already stood still for a long time. Perhaps this is the most touching part of her story, not that she was incredibly lucky, but that she never relied on luck. She didn't rush to take on the most expensive endorsements, nor did she cram herself into every variety show that offered exposure. Instead, she repeatedly emphasized one sentence, "I'm still learning." In today's world where traffic is king, this sounds almost abnormal. Those who know her well understand that this isn't modesty, but self-awareness. She understands that her success is due to accumulated experience, and once that experience is depleted, the light will quickly fade in an industry that constantly creates fleeting stars. Guo Yuxin may not be the fastest to rise, but she's trying to go the furthest. When the tide recedes and the filters wear off, what truly remains is not the brightest moment, but those who can withstand repeated viewing and scrutiny. Thank you for watching the video. See you in the next video. Thank you.